Hello everybody, welcome to today's lesson on Guitar 101. This is the third lesson in the guitar series, and today's lesson is about an introduction to the music theory behind the guitar, or guitar theory. Now for those who are new, karibuni sana. I hope that you do find something that's useful or something that you're looking for here. And to the old friends here, thank you very much for supporting the channel. To begin with, we start with the music alphabet. Now, when we talk about the music alphabet, maybe you would want to relate it with, when we talk about the guitar strings, some use, this is guitar, string 1, string 2, string 3, string 4, 5, and 6. But beyond that, these strings, which are 1, 2, 3, up to 6, also have names. They have musical names. And this is E. And if you don't know about that, maybe you can go back to our lesson 1 to be able to know the guitar string names. So there is an E, there is an A, there is a B somewhere, there is a D, there is a G, and an E. And you'll want to wonder why these letters are not Z or K or H or P. Why? Because there is a music alphabet. And the music alphabet is from A to G. There is no anything beyond G in music. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And when you get to G, you go back to A, or you continue with A over and over and over. So how many notes do we have in music? It's A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So those are seven unique notes in music that make the music alphabet. And that is where we get the names of the strings of the guitar. Now, you do realize that now our guitar has how many strings? Has 6 strings, but with 5 unique letters, or 5 unique letter names or notes. So where are the others? How do you find the other 2? So that is where these areas come. When you manipulate these parts, then you get to understand how to find the other notes, because they are here and they are many. And in our previous lesson, you saw how you could find so many E's, you could find so many G's, so many A's, and that is what we're going to actually be building our lesson today on. Now, before I even move further, there is this gadget that you are seeing here. Some of you may know what it is, some may not know. So this is a capo, C-A-P-O, capo or capo. Now, how do you use this gadget? Now, this gadget is used to change how the notes or the pitches on your guitar sound. Musically, you will talk about transposing. Transposing is changing the key or the sounding of a note that you have manipulated at a certain point in your guitar to sound a certain way. So it's like if I played this string 1 or string E in the open position like this, you will notice that if I put a capo here at this point, just by the fret, then you will notice that it changes the pitch, or it changes how that string sounds. And if I put it in any other position, I am holding or strumming the same note or the same string, but it sounds differently. Now, what do you notice? The more I move towards my sound hole, the pitch is becoming a little sharper, a little sharper, a little higher. When I move towards or away from the sound hole, it becomes lower. So a capo it helps you what it assumes as though your guitar is starting from, if I put my capo here, one, it kind of assumes that this is where all this is discarded, right? All this is not to be felt or is not to be heard. What is to be heard is from here onwards. So when you move it towards this, then you're raising the sound. You're making the sound a little higher. That is for the individual pitches. If I was to play a chord, maybe, that's holding as if in the C major position. Now, I'm holding the chord as though it was in the C major position, which is here and here and here. And I play like that. Now, if I put my capo, moved just one fret up and held the same C major position, you notice what's happening? Something is happening to the sound. It's raising, it's going up and up. It sounds as though there's something that is happening up and up and up. Now this guitar, I'm not able to move it past that because of how the guitar is shaped. So I really hope that now you understand how we use this instrument. It's when you want certain sounds, higher sounds, and you probably don't want to use the bar chords. Maybe your fingers are not yet used to playing the bar chords. So this is a better gadget to change the keys with. You can change, so it actually helps you change the keys. Transposition is changing the keys, not just the pitches, but the keys, changing the keys. Now, getting into now the theory of the capo. Now, if I played my E minor position, which is I think one of the easiest chords for maybe beginner musicians, if I played the E minor chord there, that is how it will sound. This is the open position of E minor. And the notes that I'm holding are that note there and this note here. That's a B and that's an E. So B and E are the main notes that I've put my fingers down on in the second fret or on the second fret. So now what happens is when I put a capo here on the first fret, I cannot hold my E minor in the same fret like this because it will not make sense. It has changed because this now will no longer be an E minor. Because what has happened now, it is as though, okay, it is as though my guitar starts from here. So if I was playing my E minor on the second fret, I'm going to play my E minor on the second fret from the capo. Like not here, but here. So, but now I'm holding the E minor position. Musically, it changes now from being an E minor chord. Let's go again. Let's listen to how the E minor chord sounded without the capo. There. And on the piano, there. Okay? Now I have put my capo there and I'm playing the E minor position, finger position, with a capo on the first fret. That is our chord. That's an E minor. And on the piano, that's an E minor. But then, why? Because the notes that we are holding here is we're holding a B here and an E here, and then we have all the others. I think in our previous lesson we explained all these other notes, because then this is an E, this is a B, this is a G, this is a E, B, and an E, E minor, E, G, B, E minor chord, right? But when we put a capo here, what it does, it raises the pitches of the individual strings or the individual notes that we're playing, each of them by a semitone. It raises them by a semitone. So when we do that, yes, the position that we are going to hold is as though it was an E minor position, but the chord itself changes. It is no longer an E minor chord. it is an F minor chord. All right? Why? Because now we have added a semitone. So we are no longer starting from E, an open E. We are starting from this now here. We are starting, so this string now changes into F. Now this string, which was an open B, changes into it will be a B sharp, but we don't have a B sharp, so it's a C. And then this string that was an open G now becomes a G sharp. Or there. And then this one that was an open D becomes a D sharp. And then this one here that was an A becomes an A sharp. And then this one here, which was an E, becomes an F. So now you have changed. You have changed the natural tuning of your guitar. So now your strings are no longer E, B, G, D, A, and E, but they are F, C, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, and F. So that's what a capo does. All right, it's raising the keys, it's raising the pitches of the individual strings. So now when you hold like this E minor position, this chord here is now no longer an E minor, because what you're holding right now is, if we say that this is an A sharp, when you put a finger down here, it becomes a B. When you put a finger down here, it becomes a C. Now for this one, which was initially was a D, but now is a D sharp, when you put a finger down here, it becomes an E, and this one becomes an F. So the two strings that you're holding here, down here, you're holding an F and a C. An F and a C, right? F and a C. And then the other notes will be now an F, a C, a G sharp. We've talked about that, and the same F. There. So this G sharp is also an A flat. So basically the chord that you're holding is an F, A flat, C. F minor chord. So from E minor chord without a capo to an F minor chord with a capo on the first fret. So basically, this amplifies what we were talking about last week or in the last lesson, that you see the frets here, the more you move towards the sound hole, you add half a tone or a semitone. You increase by a semitone in value of each of the individual pitches of your guitar. Now, if this is my E, we say that I can find many other E's within my guitar. So let's do this now. Let's find a formula, or let's find a way of easily finding the next pitch. Let's begin with the open strings. If this is an E, I know I can find another E on this string which sounds a little higher, and this information is very necessary, or is very important for people who are planning to go into lead guitar, solo, etc. It's very important because you need to know the different positions of your pitches on the guitar. So now, in the beginning we talked about the music alphabet having 7 notes, A to G, right? And then we said when you get to G, you move on to A. So now what we're trying to do is, now from A to A, those will be eight notes apart, a difference of 8 notes, and we call that an octave. So an octave, if I was to play this E and found another E somewhere here, I would have, on the same string, I would have played an octave. So I want to find the higher E on the first string. And knowing that from E, from this note here, from this fret to this one, I am adding a semitone. Now, this is where the music theory comes in. The notes themselves have certain distances in between them, and we've talked about the semitones on the guitar. But musically, a semitone would be represented by a sharp. It looks like a hashtag. You will see it. It looks like a hashtag. So from A to B, in between is a distance. But that distance is not this semitone that we have talked about. The distance between A to B is actually a full tone. So that means in between we have 2 semitones. So there is a distance from A to a note in the middle. The one that is in the middle of A and B is an A sharp. So it's A to A sharp, that's a semitone. Then A sharp to B is another semitone. So you have A sharp, B, there is no B sharp. Because now the natural distance between B and C is a semitone. And we talked that in our music theory lessons. We have 2 natural semitones on the music alphabet. That is between B and C and between E and F. Those are the only naturally occurring semitones in music. So we've said A to B is a full tone, but in between there we have A sharp. So A to A sharp to B. B to C, that's a semitone. C to C sharp and C sharp to D. There we have 2 semitones. D to D sharp and D sharp to E, 2 semitones or 1 full tone. But then we have E to F, which is a naturally occurring semitone. We do not have E sharp. So it is E to F, a naturally occurring semitone. Then F to F sharp and F sharp to G, 2 semitones. G to G sharp and G sharp to A, 2 semitones. And you've got yourself to A. So from one A to the other A, how many semitones do we have? We have 12 semitones. Because it is A to A sharp, that's 1 semitone. A sharp to B, B to C, C to C sharp, C sharp to D, D to D sharp, D sharp to E, E to F, F to F sharp, F sharp to G, that's 10. Then G to G sharp, G sharp to A, 10 plus 2, that's 12. So from one pitch to its octave above, or to the octave above, you have 12 semitones. So from A to the higher A, you have 12 semitones. And that is how it gets easy for you to understand, to find the higher semitones of each pitches. Like if this is E, when it's open, all I have to do is count 12 frets up, because each fret represents a semitone to get to the next E. And let's do that. So open E, so then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that's my next E. So, and it sounds almost very similar. It's the same pitch in different registers. So it's E, E, Do, Do. It's the higher Do if you're using the solfas, because it will be Do, right? And then all those be in between until you get to the other. And this 12th fret will mark the higher octaves of all the open strings that we have on our guitar. So this fret here, so this is an E, this is a B, this is a G, this is a D, this is an A, and this is an E. The higher E. The higher E, the higher B, higher G, higher D, higher A, higher E. So this 12th fret. And you can even draw a table for you to remember, because if you're a visual learner, then it will make your work very easy. All you'll have to be remembering is that, to find my higher, to find an octave above from the open string position. And it's the same for even the others. So if I've held this down, remember we said if this is open E, then I hold it down, it becomes an F. Why? The music theory, because we've said between E and F, there is a natural semitone. So there is no E sharp. If there was no natural semitone, then I would probably have an E sharp here. But there is no E sharp. So we talk about E to F. But you'll see the difference between a note like this one, like this string here, which is a D. D to E is a full tone, which is 2 semitones. So from D, when it's an open D, and then I hold it down, you remember we said it becomes a D, it becomes a D sharp. Right? You get the difference? Yes. So from open to the first fret, you have added a semitone. And if I went to the second fret, then I would have added 2 semitones, which is, if open is D, then plus 2 semitones, then it becomes an E, because it's D to D sharp and then D sharp to E, 2 semitones, which is a full tone. It becomes an E, and that is why this note here becomes an E. And if I was from E, if I was to add a semitone, I would go to F, because again, we don't have an E sharp. But from E, if I added 2 semitones or a full tone, I'll go to an F sharp, where I'll find myself here. So, I hope we are together. So if I was to put my finger down here now that we've said this is an open E, then F, right? I went and put my finger there. That will be an F sharp. G, G sharp. A sharp. B, C sharp. D sharp. E, F sharp. G sharp. A sharp. B, C sharp. D sharp. E. All right. Second string, B, C, and not B sharp, because naturally occurring semitone again. So B to C, straight, no B sharp. So it is B, then C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, and no B sharp, D, and so on and so on. And then that's at this point is when I need to say that when you're playing lead guitar and solo guitar, or solo guitar, as some call it, like the classical guitar will not be the best guitar for you, because one, it's limited. Because you realize that this one is I think it's 20, it's like 20 up to 20 frets. A standard one is like 22 to 23. I think they're longer guitars than that. So you find that there are some pitches that you will try to play using this guitar and you will not find them, because basically the highest pitch on this guitar is this pitch here. That's the highest it can go, but some guitars can go higher than that. And the lowest pitch that this guitar can play is basically this open string here. Understanding that from one pitch to its octave above, you basically count 12 semitones. And in the case of the guitar, that will represent 12 frets. Why is this important? Because if I was to play a melody at this part of my guitar, which would represent a lower sounding sound. Wow, a lower sounding sound. Yes. And then if I was aiming to have a higher sounding sound using the same pitches or the same melody, then I would probably have my fingers moving towards or around this part. Right? Now remember we say that we are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 here. All right? Now, if I was to play this melody here, which is E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Right? E, D, C, D, E, 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 D, 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 E, 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 D, C, D, E, 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 C, D, D, E, D, C. You've got that? Good. Now you've heard how it sounds. So what we will do is we will come here now. Remember we said 12, 12 is here. So on this fret here. So this would be an E, right? So where would I find my D? This will be E, right? And then this will be D sharp because now I'm moving backwards. And then this will be a D here. So it will be E, D, right? Now on this other on this other string, now we find our C. Now remember, this here is a B here. So if I want to find my C, then my C is just next to it, this way. Because C is next to B, it's just a semitone apart. So this will be a C. So remember, this is an E, here is an E and a D, and then a C, right? And then you go back to, our melody was E, D, C, D, E, E, E. So let's do it again. E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Get it again? E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Then D, 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 E, E, E. Again, E, D, C, D, E, 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 D. C, D, D, E, D, C. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Get that again? So you see how knowing some of these things may make your understanding of why some guitarists, love to play here and others here, right? It's basically changing the registers if you want a certain effect. It's just the same as in playing the same melody, using my piano maybe somewhere here near the middle C. And a different register. So I hope that's a little clearer. And we will get to do some of these exercises more and more. Yes. Now I've got to make it very clear that I'm not a professional lead guitarist. Maybe my touch is not perfect, but I think what's important is understanding the theory behind it and how to actually get to it instead of just looking and maybe copying, using just looking at what someone is the positions that someone is playing and just trying to replicate them, because an understanding of what it is that they do will even make you a better teacher. Apart from just being a performer, then it will take you to the next level, which is teaching. You can be able to explain to someone what it is that you're doing, not just telling them, oh, please touch there and touch there, and that's the sound that will come. So that's why it's important to have a good background of the theory behind the instruments that you're playing. Thank you for watching this session, and I hope it was really helpful to you and not very intense, and I hope that things are a little bit clear. And if they are not, please do not hesitate to ask for clarification. I do not mind doing a lesson entirely for clarification purposes. That is why I'm here, just to help each other just understand some of these concepts. So if you haven't subscribed, kindly do so. Share if you find this useful to you, and like, and don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the lesson and how we can get to improve the sessions more and more. Thank you very much. Stay safe and God bless you.
believe.